All right. New episode. Who want to go first with open statements?
Peace, love, and hair grease, or tire shine, whichever one you use.
Cool. I'll say for the kids that have too much pride to ask their parents for money, but give your information to any creditor that you choose and you don't know them, swallow your pride. Swallow your pride, man.
I'll say a flop is only as good as the character it inhabits, and all characters aren't created equal. Some have MVPs.
Respect, Jamel.
If you have a chance in life to be playoff Jordan, don't be playoff Jaylen Duren. All right, be Jordan.
Oh yeah.
The views, thoughts, and opinions on this podcast belong only to the hosts and the guests. They don't necessarily reflect any organization or sponsors connected to us. We aim to keep things accurate, but everything you hear is shared for information, conversation, and entertainment. We're going to dive into good laughs, tough talks, and that genuine feel that you came for. So get comfortable, relax into the vibe, and let the moment unfold. This is Keep It Clean. Lock in.
Because if that ain't get changed now, get you off yourself. And then two, you say it now.
Is this needed? Is it accessible? Does it change up everything? What's y'all thoughts?
There's a game that's second place. Yeah, that's second place.
Tell me why I'm watching a game on ESPN. One of the banners in the background is YouTube TV for the game, but we can't even watch it. How does that make sense?
$20. I don't want no $20. I want the game.
Every time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster.
Welcome back, people, man. We miss y'all. We here for a good conversation. You know how the vibes are. You know, we large and in charge, and I'm sure some of y'all still listening to Aubrey's album. Y'all keep bumping him, and when you want some actual content, come over here. Nah, I'm playing, man. You know, welcome. I'm your boy Ray. And in continuation with our endorsement reach out, you know how it is, We've been here a couple times. For those that are being sponsored today, because I'm doing laundry, I don't have a baseball team. We are brought to you by the Detroit Tigers right here. You see that? Detroit Tigers. If y'all are feeling like coming down to Texas and sponsoring some people, it's the Keeks and Clean podcast over here. You dig what I'm saying? And if it's not the Detroit Tigers, never forget, it's still bought by Nike. I don't like Ant Edwards shoes. I don't like James Harden shoes. I don't like Damian Lillard shoes. Where Nike wears over here. Word to Kobe, rest in peace. You feel what I'm saying? All right. But Brother Rez, aka Rudy, how goes it?
It goes well, man. I gotta give a shout out to Abe, dog. Every time I hear that intro, bro, it gets me, dog. I
thought about you. Want to watch the game, dog.
Yo, I thought about you the other day, dog. I was trying to find the game, and that shit said Peacock. I was like, bro. The last time I had Peacock, I think Bel Air was premiere.
Yeah.
So Peacock, and I was like, bro, Abe would flip, bro. So yeah, shout out.
Oh man, but yes, sir, Mr. A, intro maker,
man.
How you going?
I'm doing good, man. That's hilarious because at this point now, with my Apple, like you got an iPhone, you click on the sports app, it'll show you where it's being played. Now you have to play this game of Jenga, like what network is going to be on. Is it NBC? Is it Prime? Is it Peacock? Why we got to do all these hoops, man? I just want to watch the game. Like, man, just turn it on.
To your point, the only other place I've seen do that, shout out to one of the few times I'll give a shout out. ESPN at least keeps it a buck. It's like, yo, man, it's not on us. It's over here. But if you want little play-by-play or something like that, it's like, nah, it's on ABC. It's on Prime or something like that, bro. And every time I read Prime, I get upset because they have no business over here. The commentating has been bad, and I love those guys. I'm just gonna blame Prime, but the presentation is terrible. In NBC and ABC, they put some stake into this. They know how basketball is supposed to look. We've gotten theme songs off of this.
Dirk don't want to be there. Steve don't want to be there, like at all.
He thought he was getting the job, dog. He thought he was about to pull a JJ Redick. He was like,
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The first time I saw Dirk and Steve, I said, "Word!" Like that was what was left in the bag.
You gotta be cheering on Blake Griffin. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, this is crazy.
the most uncharismatic niggas in the world.
Right.
It is. I saw someone say really quick before we over here having Jamel just sit there and wait. You so patient. Shout out to you. But no, somebody might be me. It's like going from NBA TV when you watch Kenny, Shaq, and Chuck, and even with Ernie, versus the prime. It is when you season your food versus salt and pepper over here, bro. Because it's Blake Griffin does comedy, and he still seems so dry next to them, bro. It's a tough cast, bro. It's a tough cast. But the brother that showed Mike Jack how to moonwalk when they were both still in Gary at the same time, man. You know, he was the one that tried to tell Joe, you doing too much, and he sized up with legendary Joe Jackson himself. He was there. The one that slapped Freddie Gibbs so hard, one eye went the other direction, and that's why he raps like that. Mr. Jamel Collins, straight from Gary, Indiana yourself, man. How goes it, bro?
I can tell you miss me, and I appreciate it. I'm doing well, sir. If I was any better, there'd be two of me.
Ooh, that's smooth. See, that's what them grays in the beard are for. It's for bars like that, man. Every now and then you do that. This is coming off of skullduggery. Hey.
What are we talking about, man? It's the English language. Come on, bro.
Hey, man, what's happened to you? What's caused this, man? You walking around with a little bit more silk, more swag. You know what I'm saying? Are you about to enter the brown suit era? You know that's what black men do. We get to a certain point where everything just start turning brown. Are you about to enter the brown suit era?
Fortunately, I was born with a brown suit. You know what I'm saying? Melanin.
Ooh. That's how I know. You boo. He's right back.
You know what? I'd like to give two shouts out. One to my Toshiba Fire TV. Toshiba, if you want to sponsor us, go ahead for it. But all I gotta do is press the talk button. I say NBA TV. And it goes straight to the game. So technology, I love it. And a second shout out to my daughter, because we watch horror movies together. And because of that, I got Peacock. So I'm still watching. So shout out to her also.
Fair enough, man. Well, for those of y'all popping up today, what we have on the docket, it's gonna be a lot of NBA. A lot of NBA. I hope y'all know that it's been a little bit. We've kind of touched bases with what's going on here and there, but for this week, we've seen too many great games and too many blunders happen to not really dive into some things that's NBA related. So that could be Jaylen Brown versus Stepen A. Who asked for it? Don't know, but we're here, right? Then we can get into some of the playoffs. Is James Harden just going to continue to be James Harden, the one that we know to never really pull through when you need him the most? Maybe. Next episode of Cleveland Cavaliers, like whatever, right? Then we're going to go over, talk about what happened with Detroit. We're going to speak on what this OKC and San Antonio series really looks like. And from what we've gotten out of these two games, we might see the future of the NBA from this point forward. Is it the end of the era for the big three? And at this point, based on what we've seen in the playoffs, are we happy with what the future looks like? And whatever other questions that we happen to toss out there. But it's a basketball episode, and even if we change topics, there's going to be basketball references. So
before we get started with basketball, can I throw something out real quick?
Sure.
Just a quick RIP. Kyle Busch just died, man, out the blue. Dude had a severe illness. They rushed him to the hospital, and 41 years old, dude, 41. So one of the most, and I'm not a big NASCAR guy, you know, but if I know you, you must be someone big, and I know Kyle Busch. So shout out to him.
Man, rest in peace, man, because that's a young age.
Kyle Busch is up there with those names like Jeff Gordon and all that. So like,
Dale
you
Earnhardt
definitely know who he is. Yeah, you definitely know who he is.
Yeah, man. But if y'all are here, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the YouTube, TikTok, Twitter at Keep It Clean Show, Instagram at The Keep It Clean Show. We appreciate y'all. And just to get started, man, I'm going to ask the fellas, man, we got to tap in with ourselves. How was y'all's week? Or how has it been since the last time we seen y'all? And then what y'all got going in the near future?
I guess
I must have had some terrible weeks.
No, we've been great for me, man. I'm in training, bro. I'm getting the free money. Like I started a new job, got the pay increase, dog. I'm doing workshops, the stuff that I did like 5 years ago, so I don't have to think. I'm just on auto. I'm playing the game. I'm chilling, dog. Life is good. God is good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. Abe.
I'm here, man.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to be here. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. Jamel.
You know, man, you know what's going on with me, man. I got another kid coming in the house, man. So I'm feeling good. I get to play dad all over again. So to a youngster. I'm always dad to mine, you know, but to a youngster.
For the people, could you clarify, because the amount of grays would lead to the question of, are you starting over? So I know.
No. My godson, I'm being given guardianship over my godson. He'll be 16 Saturday, and I had guardianship when he was 4 through 10, and now got him back again. So
yeah, shout out to that.
Yep.
Yeah, because if they hear cries in the background, it fits for 3 of these people on the panel, but I don't think anyone would want to assume
grandchildren.
Fair.
And godchildren. Can't leave out Lola and Ivy.
Fair. Okay, man. Well, I didn't have much going on, man. I'm just looking forward to this 3-day weekend. We do the family reunion every Memorial Day, and man, holding it down. So we always go to. She would be my great aunt that's owned the plot of land down there, and for the longest period of time. So man, it's a major thing. The weather might change it, but it's not just like a daytime trip, bro. It's people pull up on Thursdays and Fridays, camp out for 3 days. Like there's you go down there, there's tents, RVs and stuff. They set up the volleyball net, basketball court, the pits already going. Based on the pictures I've seen, the brisket has been placed as we speak, right? You know, so it's one of them things, and you get out there and it's just cool to see them type of celebrations on a regular basis, man. There's no excuse. You don't even have to send invites no more. We know it's Memorial Day. You supposed to be here that weekend. There's no excuse for that, right? So always cool to go down there. We have a family war that's split between 2 different last names. And they do little competitions like dominoes and spades. And then based on the tally count, you have to take on the winners of the family's name for the next year. And then you run it back the next year. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that, bro. Yeah. And it's stuff like that. I get inspired to try to continue that when I deal with my youngest, and then want that to go on. So that's the whole community aspect again. But it's cool. Down with the Evans. And yeah. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, anybody got solos for the week? What's on your cleaning docket that you just a quick spot check, bro? Any bozos or any highlights? Like what's it looking like?
Yeah, your bozo of the week right now. Maybe it changes by tonight, but your bozo of the week is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And
as a whole?
Specifically as a whole, because you don't keep switching on that. You know Brunson is over there burning him, and you're doing it on live TV in a hibachi style. So it's not like you can't see the steam forming. You see everything burning on the grill. There's no question as to what's happening. I don't care if you chase over the top or you go underneath. Stop switching. Make the pick happen as far back as possible to half court as you can. I don't care. Stop letting that guy come through there and do that. He literally cooked him for the 4th quarter. And then we had to watch overtime like we didn't know what was going to happen. After you get that type of momentum, you have no juice left. So obviously, I know David would love to throw his shade at Donovan Mitchell. I honestly didn't think he was the problem. But yeah, as a whole, it was just the Cavaliers as a whole. There's no way you can't get around that.
Okay, cool. You got a star of the week, stars?
Yeah, your star of the week is Jaylen Brunson. Yeah, the dude that who turned it all the way around. I don't know what we're talking about. It's just as simple as I could put it. JB went out there, not to be confused with Jaylen Brown and none of these other clowns. Jaylen Brunson put the team on his back and said, hey, guide the way. It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Who wanna go next? It don't. I know Abe in basketball mode, so his was basketball related. It don't have to be. Okay,
all right. Just real quick. And PSA, clown of the week. You Drake stands, not the fans. Don't get mad because I already know how y'all give it up. And you know the YT Bulls. I got it. The stands. Y'all gotta relax, bro. Like y'all are sad, and you fans need to check these niggas because there's no way I'm not even capped in like that. There's no way I should be able to find out that there are Twitter like calls of people saying like, "Hey, we need to gather around and stream this project night and day." You guys are organizing like bot activity. Like that's the strategy. I literally saw today a Drake stan. I'm trying to make sure, not the fans, chill out. But y'all need to check y'all relatives. The stan say, "Hey, Barbs, we should work together to make sure the project."
No.
Bro, I will send you the clip. I have it. I have it in my YouTube history. I can't believe this happened. He literally tweeted, "Hey, Barbs, we should collaborate and work together to get this project to number one. And we'll get
I hadn't
you
even
back
thought
next
of that
time."
type of collab, bro.
I mean, he doesn't even mess with Nicki anymore, so that doesn't even make any sense.
That is nasty work. Y'all gotta check y'all. It's Memorial Day. Y'all gonna be around each other. Y'all need to check these dudes. This activity is gruesome. Y'all gotta get off this. Y'all just stop. Get some help.
Fair point.
Yeah,
And
what you said.
Because clearly he hasn't been damaged enough to stop this nonsense. You guys are slurping a nigga that's been taking L's for 2 years straight. Wow.
Look, to Abe's point too, if the enemy of my enemy is my friend and they both hate Jay-Z, they'll bond together for this.
There's no limit.
You know what I'm saying, bro? It's like, it's a Young Money issue. I've been saying this for a minute too, but I tried to let it go. I don't want no smoke with the Aubrey Brigade. I really don't. I'm cool, man. I can keep it clean here. I just want to toss this out there. I didn't listen to the project. It's not in my spirit. I don't have no hate for it. I don't have no love for it. I didn't listen. He's not there. But I don't want smoke, dog. I didn't accidentally found myself in the trenches one time with the Barbs. It was a dark day, even for my Twitter. And Abe knows I am a troll on Twitter. Especially back in the day, but I got put in that spin cycle. Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't wish that upon somebody, but you know, makes you shake hands with social media death right quick. Like we dapped up really quick. I thought I was about to cross over to the other side, but nah. For the Drake stands, it's worse because most of y'all are guys.
That's the
and I do think most of y'all are guys, and it's like. It's one thing when I knew Nicki Minaj fans were talking to me, but there's a lot of the Drake stands. It's just, man, I don't have your time. You know,
and they were doing this midday. I'm like, y'all don't have jobs. And here's the thing: like,
I'm
indifferent to Drake. Like, I don't care if he drops a project. Like, I'm not invested enough to really care. But for you guys to just be that far gone, bro, like y'all. Never mind, bro. I'm off it.
No, because I hear where you're coming from. Because like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not a fan. I'm definitely a Drake fan. I'm not a stan. I'm not gonna sit here and blow up people's. I'm not commenting on Jack. I'm just be real with you. You're not gonna catch me commenting on Complex. Like I really don't care. But the one that got me was when I saw, kind of piggybacking off of you, when I saw everybody was, putting underneath Riri's post or putting under ASAP's post, like she couldn't even, post a single, that everybody just kept doing the like Drake meme. They literally had to turn the comments off because it was going too crazy. Like that stuff needs to be checked. There's no need. We don't need to be internet bullying nobody, regardless of who they are. Like we just need to enjoy it for what it is and keep it pushing, bro.
And part of it is like, I think what gets me in the moments, I walk through the process almost every time. That's just how my mind works, which tells me you had to go and search for the name, click profile, click picture, and then pull up your keyboard as you proceeded to type and had the opportunity to stop, but then hit the little flying airplane to still send it off. And that's usually was like there was so many checkpoints that you zoom past.
Yeah, somebody can't say, Abe, I saw you comment. You ain't see me comment on nothing. You see somebody post a picture of getting married and I say congratulations, there's your comment, bro. But that's normally just a slide message to them. I'm not commenting on Jack, and I'm definitely not going out of my way to do nothing stupid like that. Like that's just like, come on, man.
But if it was, and I'm off it real quick. But if it was kids, I'm cool. Like if it's like, oh, these are like 14-year-olds. These are like 20-year-olds, bro. Some of these
are like 40-year-old men.
Yeah.
Thank you. And with that lob, I appreciate y'all because I don't do it often. And I think I can just go ahead and say the rules. This is something that had started from the creation of this platform. This was an agreement that I had with the co-founder. This is a rule that I set. I don't respond to white commenters. I don't. That's the rule that I set. However, when we get the comment section started, I do want to start with Buddy that came in the TikTok because, of course, I put Bodega's rant about Drake up there. Cool. Click worthy. Hilarious. That's how he feels. He called y'all a bunch of pervs for going to run to his album. That's Bodega's sentiment. Got it. Somebody went in the comments and said another old head podcast. And I just responded saying, he's our age, right? That's why it's weird, bro. He's 37, man. So it's not his fault necessarily, but again, to y'all's point, expecting a 14-year-old to do that, or again, I just don't expect this from men in general to go to another man's page and hate on him for the whole idea of women and whatever the case may be. But he's our age. It's not like I'm commenting down on 21 Savage or Lil Yachty or Lil Yee or who I don't know them. I don't comment on them. This man is our age, bro. He's doing childlike activities. That's the only thing.
I was on a plane. I was on an airplane recently, and the dude that was like a row in front of me and to the other side, he literally had Twitter pulled up and was just commenting on all kind of stuff. Like they never should have gave y'all Starlink for free because there's no way in the world you should be on a flight pulled up looking at just stuff and just commenting on everything you see. You got too much time on your hands. Watch a movie, plug in, listen to some music, take a nap. I got a Benadryl for you over here, dog. Take a quick one. Like I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with this. It's too much going on. We need to move past it though. It's too much going on.
You know what I'm saying? Al Gore didn't fight for this internet usage. He didn't. Al Gore didn't aim for this when he was back in his internet days, man. But we got off on a tangent. I love that though. Jamel, what is your highlight, Bozo? Who we spot cleaning this week?
My Bozo, I almost want to call him the racist of the week, but the Florida AG, dude, hitting up the subpoena in the NFL about the Rooney Rule. I don't know what's up with these cats, man. You have to interview someone of color when your sport is 90% African American, and they need a rule to interview an African American to be in charge. There's something wrong. And for them to subpoena, they don't see it that way. They see it like, oh, that's a racist rule because they think you have to hire someone black. You don't have to hire someone. You just got to interview it. And you shouldn't even need a rule to interview someone black when your sport is 90% black. What are we talking about? But the NFL is working with the Florida AG, so that's my Bozo / racist of the week. I hate that state. And my highlight, it's the Knicks, man. I have got to get. I didn't think they would make it this far. Honestly, I didn't think they'd make it past Philadelphia, if I'm being honest with you. So I got to give them their props, man. And for them to do that comeback against Cleveland like that, the whole team, shout out.
Fair. Okay. For the Florida thing, I didn't want to look too far into it, but I do understand there is a push for African Americans not to attend the SEC and talking about boycotting it. I've been seeing that recently. It does present an interesting conversation overall. The more or less European American centric schools tend to do whatever they do. However, simultaneously with what you're saying with Florida, overall as a nation, we read at a 5th grade level. I can't possibly expect you to understand how the rule works if you can't read, which also goes back to if you boycott those schools, at least at HBCU, they teach you how to use a book. I'm not saying they don't at these schools, but knowledge is power. For me, a highlight of the week is the Spurs and the Thunder, as well as the Timberwolves, because they played the Spurs the series before. Watching the new age era coming gives me a lot of love for what we're about to see in basketball, for starters. At the same time, shout out to the Vegas Knights. I'm having a great playoffs, fellas, for NHL and the NBA. Both of the squads is up there in the Western Conference Finals. I don't believe, I'm not supposed to say I don't believe we win the series. I think the Colorado Avalanche are a cold squad, right? They be scoring. I'm surprised we got game 1. They might get the next 4. I would love for us to win. If we beat them, we win the cup. But the Avalanche looks something crazy, man. And so we took game 1. We got out the Mammoth. We continuing on. So yeah, not the Mammoth. Yeah, we beat the Mammoth.
Avalanche hasn't looked this good since the late 90s when they had Sakic and Patrick Waugh. They haven't looked this good in a long time.
Man, like I'm sure y'all saw that meme or GIF, whichever one, when they had showed. I want to say one of y'all sent it. They showed the Cavs and the Knicks and their faces. I think it was Kai Cenat and Drewski looking at each other when they watched game 1 of OKC in San Antonio. Like, we have to run into that. That's how everybody else was looking at the Avalanche, bro. Like it was one game I was watching. They put up 8 like casually, bro. In the playoffs against Minnesota, just put up 8. Like, it was nothing, man. Yeah.
And the hockey playoffs is all like NBA playoffs. The game's supposed to slow down, lower scores. Avalanche was like, nah, you can keep that. Keep that noise.
Ray, I'm salty. Y'all blew my slip. I literally picked the Avalanche, trying to play it safe, and y'all messed everything up for me, bro. So
it was a fluke game 1, man. I've been watching majority of the NHL playoffs. And I say fluke in the way of you caught them slipping by accident. When you try to fight dad, like if you run it through your mind, even when we're honest with ourselves, when we ran it in our mind, we only got 1. We got 1 in maybe. We never really did it, but every time we played it in our head, the one you did get was the open sucker punch. And that's what that game was. Because he didn't think your nuts were on the table like that, and you challenged and then you woke up, if you did, after it happened, right? Cool. That's what that was. But my potential bozo, maybe not, all of us. I say that because how spiders work. Nobody really likes spiders, right? At this age, though, we do kind of understand how they work. You make that give or take thought process. You see a web, but you do know they eliminate a lot of bugs. That's their job. So it's like, I don't really like you because you kind of scare me, but you have a purpose, right? Walk with me. I think we killed off too many Karens. I do. It was annoying for what they do whenever they come over. They ruin our barbecue. Some little girl's trying to sell some lemonade. You just trying to take a walk with your dog. I get it. But I'm starting to think those are more like the Black Widow spiders. That's more of a one-off. You do got to kill those off. Those are terrible. However, when Karens were running free and we left them alone, they did stop a lot of these white guys as well and got them out of the way for us on our behalf. They called the cops on them too. The little marches, the little annoyance, they were effectively getting rid of some of the problems that we see now that annoy us. Chud the Builder doesn't exist if you let Karen just be free for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would never happen because Karen would have been taking care of the problem.
To be fair, they switched the name to Jessica now, so they haven't eliminated.
Oh, there's an update.
They rebranded.
They rebranded.
Wow.
So they're trying not to be associated. I'm sorry, I just want to cut in real quick. They don't want to be associated with Karen anymore because obviously we know that's a negative. But they have switched over to Jessica now because of the millennial name Jessica.
So are you saying the Karens have just been labeled as an endangered species for now until you get the population back?
There you go.
We here. Okay. I appreciate y'all taking this walk with me, bro. That's all I wanted to know. Jessica, whoever did it, shame on you. Whoever
out here being a menace.
Right.
Like, what was it, a group vote? Like, how did that happen? Did they come together
it's up there on that millennial name of just being like up there, and they're like, yeah, you the new one. Yep.
You know them little Instagram quizzes when they scroll through, or Facebook when it says what name has annoyed you the most in the last decade? Yeah. That's how they voted. It was that's tough. I didn't know that.
Yeah, sucks to catch that straight when you ain't done nothing. But you know, hey,
are Jessica's the new? Oh, Jessica's the new white ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Hey, like I told y'all, we getting straight to basketball. Right. Game on. I would like to start with Cleveland making it here in the game 7 that we saw of Detroit. That's where I would like to start. Y'all cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You can't win with Duncan Robinson. I can't remember which one of y'all said this on this platform. Okay, cool. 2. I want to say Rose might have tossed it there too. Duncan Robinson as a 2 does not belong as a starter, point blank period. And realizing Duncan Robinson is the difference between Donovan Mitchell losing in the second round again and finally making it to the conference finals is the takeaway that I had. This is Duncan Robinson's fault, bro. That's where I'm at with
it. Damn.
I mean, during, like Jamel's kind of pointing to earlier, he definitely didn't play his full potential this entire, like, that second series. Like, he just didn't. We also know, and we've talked about this in the group chat, and I'm sure everybody else knows, this is Detroit's first time, like, crossing over the bridge. So I give them that season, because most times, as we know, you got to get to the hill, fall from it to be able to get back over it again. So, there's very few teams that kind of make it out of that just like one off. And Detroit never showed that they were just going to be that team. With Cade being out for like a month and then coming back and trying to figure out how they were going to make it work, I think they did a good job fighting their way out of the first round. Definitely played another team that's kind of like on their same caliber. They have young talent. They just haven't gotten over the hump. Then they get to the second round, and honestly, it just looked like they needed a vet in those moments. I thought Tobias Harris was going to step up and be that guy for them, but you had people like LeVert who showed up for a game and just balled out. And, you just had like several people that just kind of took the spur of the moment, but it was never like the Cade Cunningham show every single game or, during every single game. I mean, Cade hooped, don't get me wrong. Cade was hooping. But I'm just saying, like, I was watching him on game 7 and he was trying to get after it. And you needed that from like 1 through 7. And I think you probably lost 2 games because he didn't give you that. And so I think it was just a lot of the youth that played into this series. And fortunate for the Cavaliers, James got a few of those gray hairs here, and, they were able to scrape by.
Yeah. I will say really quick, Tobias looked like he earned his contract the series before. And then right after that happened, it was like, we're paying him how much again?
another $100 million. Another $100 million.
I remember I think I had texted you. I was like, how does he keep ending up on Harden and Mitchell? Like, how did this switch happen, bro? Like, how does he specifically, why is this his assignment? There's multiple people on the floor. I know Thompson can't guard both. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I understand Duran's having a bad offensive game. There was just so many other options that wasn't Tobias Harris getting isolated by James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, bro. It's like, dang, man, you was about to get paid again. If you would have just rolled an ankle in the previous series, you had almost another $100 million to what you say coming up for you this summer. And then you expose yourself. Tobias wasn't supposed to be in this spotlight. That's what it was. You're supposed to take your money and shut up. And you just show up, hit a couple jumpers. But the spotlight shone, and it's every time, when his hip displaced, I said take that, put him in the home He needs a conservatorship. Take his contract, bro, man. Yeah. Tobias, I felt bad for him too, man. I did. I was like, he about to get paid, and then, woo, God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly, bro. What were you about to say, Jamel?
I think we said this before the playoffs started. Detroit, offensively, it's Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham as the point guard, Cade Cunningham as the 2 guard, Cade Cunningham as the small forward. Everything was Cade Cunningham. Offensively, defensively, they're still a really good team, but they've got to find his Robin. They got to find one. And there's a lot of free agents out there this year. As a matter of fact, it's pretty free agent heavy. So they're willing to throw some money out there. But if they run it back, I'm just going to send a card to Abe. Like, yo, man, it'll never happen at this point. So,
I'll make sure to send this to my brother so that way a Detroit fan can feel that, because I ain't feeling none of that.
I lobbied this to y'all separately off mic, but an Instagram dude that had broke it down. I'm still on the side of they should make an attempt for Devin Booker. And get that as an offensive piece, because I think they have enough, and I think that's a beautiful pairing. A beautiful pairing that provides the scoring that you were looking for, and he does try to play defense so he can blend in. And then that also takes the responsibility off of Cade as just being a predominant scorer, a scorer, and then allows him to more so fit into his natural role of playmaker that can score. Because I do think Cade is a underrated playmaker. But you look at their offense, because he's the best player on that team, you do have to create more scoring opportunities. Booker being there opens the floor something different, and then allows a Duren might be in that trade package. I'm not going to lie to you. Unless
you're going to have to send something nice. You're going to have to send something nice,
Like, I would assume that you want to keep Thompson, I would think, right? Sure. So if you can keep Thompson, then you probably have to send Duren. But I do think going for Devin Booker is a move that Detroit should make in the offseason. That's the perfect pairing that I could think of. It's
on that same line. As long as you have to gut the team to do it, you can put them in a pretty good position. I liked Reed, the second center that came off the bench for Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, he was earning like starter minutes. Like I'm looking at my team knowing we need a center, and I'm smiling looking at him on the court, because I'm like, can we throw something at him? Because I would love to have him. So if you could throw him in a package with somebody else, or if you Duren and you just keep Reed, I'm cool with either option. But keeping Booker there, hometown kid, like the whole story paints itself, and then you have a all league scorer. Yeah, that puts them in a really dangerous position if they're able to run it back with the same team.
And just to piggyback off of what both Mel and Abe were saying, I guess in context, I would give the Pistons an A for this season. Absolutely, I would give them an A, just given where we thought they were going to be at the start of the season.
Yeah,
like they massively overachieved, and for the most part, I mean, Cade was carrying the whole franchise. A collapsed lung. He had Duncan Robinson, and what was left of Jaylen Duren. So like if you could somehow, some way substitute Duren out, I don't know, somebody snap.
That's Ev. Yeah.
But if you could somehow get Duren out and get Booker in, like Booker's like a souped up Duncan Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that kind of scoring threat, and Booker can play make. So he's been accepting that responsibility the last couple of years. So I think that would be a perfect move for them.
Your number 2 option is Duncan Robinson, and your number 1 in the East. You did a very good job. You did a very great job. JB Bickerstaff needs all the praise for that.
And Ray
go ahead, Jamel.
Ray talked about Booker playing defense. He's not a great defender at all, not even a little bit. But he's better than Duncan Robinson on defense.
I said he tries, for the record. I said he tries. I didn't say he was great.
I didn't say you said he was a great defender. I didn't say that. But what I'm saying is he is leagues above Duncan Robinson defensively. and he's not a great defender. So that tells me Detroit plays great team defense because they were able to hide Duncan Robinson on defense.
Well, yeah, when you got
Evan
Thompson
Hughes started, same thing with him.
Yeah, when you got Thompson, who's out there just to be your Draymond Green, your enforcer anyway. I mean, I don't think Thompson looks to score at all. I mean, Assorted tries to, or Amen tries to play a little bit of offense. I mean, they do require that from him. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to do anything. Like, he'll be 5 feet from the basket and he turns around with the ball trying to hand it off. So I don't think, unless it's a dunk, he cares about scoring. So if you can keep him on the team, bring in someone like Book, and you can really do those defenses to kind of hide those inconsistencies that you have with defense on some of those guards, oh, man, you can put yourself in a really good position.
I want to double down on, again, shout out to Instagram. I love my algorithm. I just want to put that out there. I have a safe algorithm. For y'all that are listening, there's certain things that they send me in chats, and I say it right there. I don't even want to click it because I done built a beautiful algorithm, and I'm not dealing with your buffoonery. But someone has said if the Thompson brothers have the perfect opportunity to just hire a shooting coach, go off into the mountains of Wyoming for the summer, and them two just train on they already got the defense. So you work on shooting over that type of defense, just both of them for the summer, and you might have the scariest set of guards coming back on the other side. I think that's a dope idea. I'll add, at least to close the Detroit side or Detroit Cleveland series, this is the second team where I doubled down on what I said. We gave Boston slander for the way that they went out. However, they too overachieved. And so the same credit that we're giving Detroit, I think, is also dope, because it's like, I don't know if we had them above, we'll say, 6 at best. I don't think we had them in the top.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you did that with essentially nothing. You looked better after we cleaned up somebody gambling on the lines like Malik Beasley, because you were overachieved last year and then came back and overachieved again, right? And so you rose. You also handled. It's not just like they got there and it was a 3rd seed or something along those lines, and you got there because someone like Orlando should have been higher up on paper than they were. So you didn't just float to the top by accident. They dominated and did their job, 60-win team. So I think that deserves his credit. I know Cade is going to take some of the superstar responsibility, as he should, and that's just a part of the game. He might be in my conversation of who did the most themselves in the playoffs. And with, like y'all said, Duncan Robinson, it looked like he did the most. If you could give an MVP that's not just in the finals, he's in the he's in a running. He's in a conversation. That's what I'm gonna say.
He carried the heaviest load. Pause. But
there's some guys that I'm telling you, when I'm watching that series, I'm like, yeah, you need to chill out for a second. There's some guys in the series that, like, I'm looking at you in the free agency next year. I don't know if you're in contract or you're unrestricted or you're restricted. I'm looking, because there was some talent on that floor where we didn't get to see it, maybe because they're in a lower market, they're on the East.
Yeah,
back and forth, whatever the case may be. But seeing them prime time, oh yeah, I'm looking at a few players like, where do we sign?
Yeah. For the other series, I don't know how much time y'all want to spend on it. We could wrap it up very simply. First and foremost, Abe was right. Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they swept. I'm struggling to remember who Atlanta. That's right, because Rose isn't here. So unless Abe was right, Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Did y'all want to add to that series, or can we move on to more conversation?
I think Abe is right is a great way to leave it off. For once, I've had a couple L's. I'll take this win. You know
what I'm saying? Like it's all fair, man. I would go so if we went to the Western Conference, my question to y'all would be, how fast could they get rid of Julius Randle?
Oh shit! As soon as they can.
I mean, who's
and that's the problem
You got that front line that nobody wants.
Because he's the problem. And you can't tell me different. I said this before. Even when they traded him for Cat, it's an even swap. It's both false positives.
Yeah,
every time they need it, it's a false positive, man. They anytime I see you shake your head, Jamel, it's like if they're scoring 30, 35, the rest of the team is barely cracking 20 at best, because that's what they need to do in order to score. And if they're off, they're off. As what is it worse to have Julius or is it worse to have Rudy? That's my question. That's where I'm at with the Timberwolves.
It's probably Julius, because he's taking the shots that you don't want him to take. Whereas Rudy ain't touching the ball. He's just more of a defensive player. As much, and as you know, and we've been on here before, I can't stand Rudy. Like, to the depths of me. I can't stand him. But what he brings to the table, he's not disrupting the offense in that manner. And Julius is doing everything he can to just get his 30 points. And you're just like, no one asked you for that. We need 18, 10, and 7 from you, not 27 and 30, with 4 assists. Like, that's not what they're looking for from you.
Right.
What else puts Minnesota's in that conversation? What else would they possibly need to then be in the conversation of the Oklahomas and San Antonios? I think if they're the third team in the West, especially looking forward to me. A couple other teams kind of need some moves, or we'll see what they do in this offseason to kind of put them above that hump. Denver, the LAs, they're in that next tier. They're pending a move.
Right. And this question, is DiVincenzo healthy?
He's out for the season. I don't think he. I don't think he does what Tatum does.
Okay, so you're talking about next year. What do they need to do? What moves they need to make?
Whoever they trading Randall for, whatever guard they trading Randall for, that's step number one.
Do they need another guard?
They need, and then what I mean is they need a guard. Like, coming in, the rumors already, because I don't know if y'all talking about it or not, but the rumors already said, that they reaching out to talk about Kyrie Irving. They need, so Randall, they need a Irving, John Morant. They need one of them guards that can alleviate some pressure off of Anthony Edwards. Like you said, you don't want Randall taking them shots, but you want another fast, athletic guard or somebody who's shifty that is a shot maker and shot taker to actually
They have one. They have one. I kid you not. Bones Highland. When you see him get playing time, he puts up numbers when he gets playing time. He still makes dumb mistakes, and I think that's the reason why he doesn't start consistently. But he puts up numbers.
Yeah, he does.
Almost triple-double numbers.
And I agree with that, but I think they need they're looking for a star name that they're confident in, like somebody who could be, and again, a vet. No disrespect to Bones Highland, because I like Bones Highland, but they're looking for a star that you hear Bones Highland, nobody that doesn't strike fear. They're looking for, like I said, they're looking for a star, friend, superstar that, hey, when Anthony Edwards is on that floor, all attention is on him, and now this person is going. Like, I think, the league was resorting back to duos again. I think they're looking for that that 1B pairing for Ant Ed.
Yeah, because there's something about going to the promised land and like seeing it, being in there, being in the atmosphere, knowing what it takes to get there, and then being able to say, "Hey, young bull, let me take you with me." Like, there's something to that. So I do see your point.
Yeah, and because I might raise it. If you can get rid of Randall, I do understand going for what you said, Ev. If you can't, I think it would benefit to get a more defensive-minded guard. Like, this would be a time that I would go for a Drew Holiday, especially with Conley aging and DiVincenzo being out.
Who doesn't want Drew, though?
You feel what I'm saying? Like, where he could get you a bucket, and he does provide a good about 80% of that of what you presented, Ev, as far as the offensive side, because we saw that in Portland. He essentially won Portland that game that they did get against San Antonio, and then he also goes and still plays great defense now. If you can land that because you can't get rid of Julius, I think you win. I do believe they have to get rid of one of them. You can't have Gobert and Julius there.
Right.
You got to make a decision. right? And Nas Reed does enough to carry you over, so you don't have to really deplete too much. Maybe go. What does Zubac's contract look like? I don't know. Like you might be able to get somebody, but if they don't get that offensive player, I do. If you can get rid of Julius, get the full offensive player. If you can't, I might get a defender type guy. I would almost say they would be all right if you had the Dylan Brooks of this season. Because he scored way more than
he
this
turned
season.
it up. He turned it up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. So let's just trade Anthony Davis over to him and
for who?
I was
about to say because I
wanted to see the reaction first. Oh yeah, he's a
does one out of Washington.
Supposed to be. Yeah. Hey.
He asked to be traded. Yeah. You know, so would they take that? Because paying Gobert's contract for the next 2 years is pain for Minnesota. That's where they're at.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's pain. And
you have a perfect, and you can dump them.
Can they get Giannis?
No, not enough money.
Trust. Okay, I do think. Oh, also I'll add Anthony Edwards does get a pass for this. I know we've been going superstar by superstar. We saw his injury for him to play through what that knee, what we thought that knee was going to be.
Crazy.
Full pass for me. And if it's unanimous around the board, you get the clean pass, man. Nothing but love for what you did try to do. You did what I'm saying? Okay. The 20-point blunder or the overtime game one?
I would love. Yeah, let's
take a vote. Like which
20 points.
That's one.
Yeah, let's
do
20 points.
Okay. Majority rules. Is it Donovan Mitchell's fault?
Yes.
No.
No. I blame Harden.
It's absolutely 3 points in the fourth in overtime. It's absolutely this nigga's fault.
No, but he got him there though.
It don't matter. It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
I know. I knew it was coming before I even.
They
you want him
to help him finish.
There. Yeah, but like you have to have help. Like I don't understand what that's about. Like Brunson had help.
How much was Harden helping when he had the 20-point lead?
I didn't say Harden was supposed to be the one to help him. I just said somebody got to help. I never would have traded for him. That's not me.
and this is a part of the downfall of the trade that people didn't want to think about in the retrospect is, Jiggy J. Everybody loved to keep talking about Harden when he was offensively being a point guard with Philly, with the Clippers. He's still putting up 25 and he's putting up a double-double. Yeah, but at the cost of the defense still. I mean, he already wasn't a great defender. He already, was already going to get passed over, but he's older now. And we're getting in a game where we see all the older guys' defense is first thing that they give up. Yeah, and it's like, what do you expect here? That is your person you're going to attack, and it just is. It worked. Like it's unfortunate that it looked at how it looked.
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah, it looked bad because the James Harden of Houston Rockets days are done. I need everybody who's still hanging on to the possibility that's who he could turn into. It's over. He's lost a step. He's still a great offensive player once he can get there. But if you have more turnovers and field goals made consistently, we're not talking one-off games. We're talking about an entire series where they kept comparing how many field goals you made to how many turnovers you had. That's not, he could snap back into it. We're looking at the downfall. Like
he need a basketball Cialis.
Yeah.
I just thought about that because you said when he could get when you said he still is a good offensive player when he can get it going. Yeah, that man, he needed a little, pick me up. He need a honey pack.
Yeah. Please get that man up.
Harden has actually been fairly consistent. Look at his playoff career. He poops the bed in the playoffs is what he does. He turns into playoff P.
Yeah. But that's why it shouldn't surprise us at this point. That's what I'm trying to get at, Mel. Like what we're seeing is what you said. It's consistent. He's been this way, and we, listen or love the clips of old watching him do his thing in Houston and OKC. We're not going to act like he didn't revolutionize the game with the step backs and the Euro step that he took from Manu. Like, there are things that he's done for the game. Right. There's things he's done for the game to help progress it. We got it. But the old James Harden is no more. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Agreed on that.
Yeah.
So I got a quick question. Before we it's about James Harden a little bit though. Has the fact that superstars have gotten to age older in their playing now, is this starting to become a hindrance too?
Yes.
Or is just James Harden the first person like that? Because of the fact, James Harden, 37, and everybody's still looking at him like, yeah. But again, even though it's like this is a consistent thing with you in the playoffs. But at this age, with you losing a step, it's gonna be even more consistently happening because you just can't keep up. So is it a hindrance to like LeBron? Like again, even though
that's
LeBron
exactly what I was just about
flashes, but it's still like, bro, you're 23. Everybody's not realizing, you're losing steps 2 and 3. You can still offensively go get us 30, but I mean that's because of the rules of the game.
Right.
But you can't.
But remember, this man is if you remember like his first like maybe 12 years or so, there was a thing that we used to like watch YouTube clips on, and that was a chase down block by LeBron. When is the last time that you've seen him consistently on just like a game basis be chasing people down the block? He does it every now and then when he feels the momentum or he's in the game or whatnot. But like, yeah, exactly. But like, it's not like he's sitting here waiting for that opportunity like he used to be. He used to be on the baseline, hawk someone down on the other side, and still block it. Like that LeBron step has taken a step back, and that's Father Time. He's undefeated.
I do think while that exists, there is a case for James Harden specifically, though. That while there's a chase down block, we knew that was coming from LeBron. Yeah. There's also the narrative piece of James Harden chokes in this moment of time all the time, period.
Yeah.
In your prime, before your prime, before he was prime James Harden, it was you disappeared in the finals against Miami whenever OKC got there. We didn't forget that. You got your prime that everyone gets excited for. You played the Spurs, had a great series. The very next one, when the spotlight hit you, you were gone. How many times did it happen in Houston? You disappeared in Brooklyn. What happened in Philly? It over there with the Clippers. It continues. So time is there. He's still giving you a triple-double if he feels like it. Hell, the trade occurred because of what we saw him do with the Clippers this very year. While they were losing, Harden was looking like a hidden MVP candidate for a little bit. And then is right back to the place where it matters most. Harden is in the top 5 greatest regular season GOATs
ever.
Easily.
Yeah, I'm about to, okay, hang on. James Harden was MVP-esque this season because they were showcasing him to ship him out. No teams do that all the time. Go out there,
sure.
Get your bag. And
for sure.
Here with it, and he was making sure he got to the next point.
And again, we've taken shout out to Wemby, man, because ever since he said this some months back, I've been stuck on it. We've taken so much of the backseat on defense. Of course, he looked like the MVP when he is a cone on defense, and all we care about and promote is offense.
Right.
And to your point, I was going to say James Harden looked this good primarily because Kawhi was healthy this year. Kawhi took a lot of pressure off offensively.
Yes, he did.
And again, he's someone who can cover the best player, even if it's the point guard. James Harden doesn't have to guard him. So,
but Kawhi was out there trying to beat allegations, though. So that's a different thing too, though.
It wasn't his fault. I think he was. Hey, no. If Harden's marketing himself, if that's what they're doing, that's also what they did for Kawhi too. Hey, we know you healthy. Sure. Go out there and play because we about to lose you anyways. Contract void. You a free agent. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Get your bread, man.
Also,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna say also to your point, Ev, really quick, is with because y'all mentioned LeBron. That's the other issue with Harden specifically as well. LeBron, KD, Steph, are still showing a lot of the stuff that we love them for. But more importantly, while he is too, they're showing it in the playoffs, right? They at least have rings. You can say whatever you want about KD that he hasn't won since Golden State, sure, but they're in that stage of their career while being your peers of the same age to where we're still having a separate conversation. KD was, you can say he choked, but I can say he got an MVP and he also has 2 rings and a finals MVP. Steph is still able to shoot, period. Steph was never responsible for defense, but we can argue that he tries harder than Harden.
He plays the pass better than any guard.
He plays way better.
LeBron's having the narrative of he's 41, good or bad, and you still can't show up in the playoffs. And you've seen more jerseys than them. As much as KD is a journeyman based on the podcast narrative that we're having right now, Harden isn't far behind.
Yeah.
Harden has a rainbow himself.
Yeah. He just ain't collect no jewelry on the way. That's it.
There you go. So if we go rainbow for rainbow, even if you add LeBron has a double, but it's still a lot of moving, and he has rings to go with it. And even if it's not a ring conversation, you fold in the 7th game every time.
For real.
If we took the rings away, we've seen clutch moment Steph, we've seen clutch moment Clay, we've seen KD, we've seen clutch moment LeBron, we've seen clutch moment Jimmy Butler, we've seen clutch moment Jamal Murray. We can really run. Jamal's younger, part itself, but Jimmy Butler, I'll stop there. We've seen them be who they needed to be, not too much younger than you, the same person that you were hating on. Giannis in the clutch moment, he's 34. I don't know what else you want at this point. He's beyond the prime age that we're usually used to as well. We've seen those moments. It's a Harden issue. Age is there, but the game that he plays was never super athletic anyways, which is why some of their longevity has occurred. You're a shooter, you have a dribble package, you can get to the bucket. We live in the James Harden world where, if we're being honest, if he's not 1A, he's 1B most impactful on court of this generation. If he's not 1A, it's Steph. From Steph shooting and the style of basketball that developed because of the way that Steph shoots and where he was shooting from, and the dribble package that James Harden, that excessive dribble package, that ISO basketball, and the style of play that he does it, that's a Harden tree. He severely impacted the game, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like that, everybody's dribble package came from the way that Harden approaches his game. Kyrie has great handles, but if you see that step back from the 3-point line, the way that Euro step that he took further than even Dwayne Wade did, that's Harden. So we think of that, and it's like, nah. But on the other side, while they could dribble, LaMelo does that. He's a loser. like we watch Harden do it, and you just lost later with the same style. Yeah. I just
some with Harden also that we also, like you said, like he has his thing. He also was, like, I would say, one of the second quiet, like, introducers of that LeBron-esque basketball where everything is focused through you.
Basketball.
Yeah, heliocentric. He was after Bron, because Bron was the first one and it wasn't given that name. I think like Harden was the next one, because right after the OKC blunder going into Houston, it became directly.
Yeah.
I feel like it was quiet because of everything else he did. Because of the year round, because of the dribbling.
They never called it hero ball. They just called them ball hogs before that, because everybody else just got the ball put to them.
I was going to say, because that was Jordan back in the 80s before Pippen and Grant got there when he had Oakley and
but I know, but you know what Ev is saying. Like,
it's like, Bron was.
However, no, wait. To Ev's point as well. So they're right with that's what they call ball hogs. But you know why they never called that style for LeBron? Because that nigga won. He didn't. So now we got to look at how you keep playing hero ball.
Yeah.
He's the LeBron of Julius Randle's.
Yeah. Basically, LeBron, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden are all kind of like synonyms of each other. They're just degrees.
Yeah. And then Luka is the very, like, of the next generation, he's the very first one of that.
And if we want to have the honest conversation too, based on the way that we're giving credit to people like Ant, that we're going to give it to Wemby and SGA once we get to those conversations, even a little bit of Jalen Brunson, those Lukas are going to be fewer than what we've seen the previous generation because
Right.
it's not developing, it's not showing to be winning basketball in this current era that we're seeing now.
Right.
You got to do something. Even Jokic is having a hard time doing it, and he's not necessarily a full slouch, but he's kind of in that world of you do everything offensively, but to the argument Rudy and I had on this platform, you need defense to win championships. Yes.
Yeah.
There's offense. Both sides, once you get to the finals, have defense in some way, shape, or form. You do need a little bit more offense, but you have to have some defense. The better offense will win, sure. But that Lukas style, I think you're going to see that phase out as long as Anthony Edwards is running around yelling at you and picking you up full court while dropping his 30.
That personality, that the flair of this game, like all of that is just too, like that's why they were trying to hand Ja Morant the keys, because they knew he had the connection to the youth. And then whenever he kept fumbling it, AE stepped forward like, man, I'm gonna just be myself and keep killing. Now here's for not people like Stephon Castle about to be household names for kids too. Because he's about to be somebody where a kid looks at him and says, I want his jersey. I want to play like Castle. These are the guys we're watching that are emulating almost kind of like an Anthony Edwards, but just in different shapes and forms. You're literally going to have a Stephon Castle where he's kind of quiet. He gets to work. He dunks on people. He's got the flair of the game, but he just may not have the personality. Whereas AE has the personality plus the game, plus the mouth. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you're just seeing different variations of the same player at a certain point. And it's gonna be wicked here in about the next 2-3 years.
Yep. Because what's interesting, I'll talk
real quick. Because we taking a whole scenic route around Madison Square. Let me bring it back to this point. It's Donovan Mitchell's fault. Because I would submit Donovan Mitchell is a bad teammate. He's a bad teammate. Because if your homie is getting barbecued play after play after play. If you're my friend, you're gonna go get it in blood.
Like on the court behind the school. If you're
He's a bad teammate. He's a bad teammate, bro. He's
help me. Coach's strategy.
Help me, nigga.
Help me.
But are we gonna act like he's not on the grill himself regularly?
No, he is on the grill himself. But what I'm saying is this: if you were that spectacular for 3 quarters, and I'm your friend, and you're watching me front row 4K get killed.
Just throw something at him, bro.
Bro, just go score, get a layup, get a foul. It's 20 points. I only need you to score like 8.
Yeah.
You score 3 in the fourth quarter and the fifth quarter.
Like, you know what's funny about it too? Even on the defensive side, bro, it's Josh Hart. Help me jump. Let's jump him. you keep leaving me here. Let's jump him. If Josh Hart lands another 3, hooray, right? Leave him. But I think what happened, man, Donovan Mitchell said, yo, bro, I know how that feel. We've all been there when the cousin or your sibling was catching that whooping and you like, yeah, I want to help. But my ass remembers when them was landing on me. Hey, big dog. Yeah, I think he saw the moment. It's just, hey.
Any Hooper has been on that island, and any Hooper has been a teammate of someone who you've watched get cooked, and you've literally told them switch. You either let their pride get in the way and they say, no, I got him, or you push him out the way and you go get him. I do agree with you, Rudy. He definitely should have helped him out a little bit, but I mean, it was going to be barbecue chicken either way.
I'm not even saying he should have took up the defensive slack.
I am.
Cooked. Fine, but go score something on the other end. Like you're helping them jump me. You're with them.
To be fair, if we do call it for what it is, at least basketball wise, they try to hide him, and it's hard. Okay, it's like it's us 5, right? All right, I'll make me Harden. Okay, if
make me
y'all are I don't want to do that. You holding down the paint.
I'm the old man. I probably play.
Okay, sure. All right. So Jamel's Harden, all right? We're already hiding him on defense, or at least attempting to. If our defensive scheme is to fight through the screen for four of us, it's hard to switch it in the moment that Harden's man is coming and you're not sure what it is. Because we could switch. We could, but I don't want to send up a situation where it's Mitchell on Mitchell Robinson. It's Evan Mobley out there getting isolated by Josh Hart or something like that. It's like, so now you have to play through it just to stick with the personnel. Because truth be told, Mitchell and Harden are defensive liabilities regardless. So you're picking the worst of the two. And to y'all's whole point, hoping that they go outscore the other team. Like, we're just going to go bucket for bucket. That's really what Cleveland would like to do in the guard situation. And they're wanting that to happen. At least this is what my viewpoint of it is. They're saying we can go bucket for bucket with Jalen Brunson 4 games of this series. And then for the defensive piece of it, they have enough confidence for Jared Allen and Evan Mobley to handle their own against a Cat and Mitchell Robinson. That should favor Cleveland. The only X factor here would be OG. So I'm willing, and I can keep up with OG as long as Harden and Mitchell are scoring, because Jalen Brunson can't do it by himself. So OG is going to be my second biggest scorer. Evan Mobley can guard Cat, right? Jared Allen can guard Cat. It'd be all right. I think that's what happened. We can't just switch. It'd be like, all right, I see Jamel's man coming if you call it out in time. But that's also an ego boost, because imagine Jamel coming, man, switch. Hey, dog, Jamel can't get him switched. you didn't, like, that's tough, bro. You Harden over there, like, stop hating on me. You did what I'm saying?
Okay, but you let your pride get in the way, and that's why Steph had 50 in the Garden, because Raymond Felton didn't take his butt off of him and let Amon Shumpert guard him. There's something about that you still have to make. To your point, I agree with you totally. I'm just saying, we can't let the pride get in the way of understanding that, like, this may not be your strong suit, but, like, you got 5 fouls, 6 fouls. Use one of them.
I'm with you. I also think, to your point, he doesn't have the pride that we're talking about. I think he wanted the help. You just couldn't. He was like, come get me. Please throw the life raft. Give me some floaties at least. And they couldn't, dog. The boat just kept, like, every time. It wasn't like they just isolated him and you're at the 3-point line. They set the screen near half court and everybody else ran to the corner.
But I was hoping they'd set the screen as high as they did, so that way they could have time to come back and recover. But then they just left him. But they just left him.
Because what do you do? I'd
rather have Mitchell Robinson and a Duncan than have Brunson just burning me for whatever he feels like.
But Mitchell's gonna get burned too, and Mitchell gets in foul trouble quickly too. That's another piece. Mitchell Robinson, Donovan Mitchell does get in foul trouble at times, and I would rather keep him on the floor, because if it's a clutch moment, we've already spoken on Harden. Yeah. Okay. With that being said, do y'all double down on y'all's predictions for this series? Are we all team Knicks now, since most of us were wrong on this panel outside of Abe?
Yeah.
Come on, join me, fellas.
Straight up Knicks. and real quick, before we say that, I have to say, y'all blaming the players. Y'all can do that.
The coaches on this too.
I'm blaming Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah.
Because the game went to overtime, right?
Yeah.
There was a 20-point lead, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So before going to overtime, that means there was a 20-point lead. There was a 10-point lead. There was a 5-point lead. And guess what? He ain't called not one timeout.
Which is
he
crazy.
Be fired today. Look here, we be having an interim coach be coaching this conference finals. And I'm so dead ass because that clock management, you were up 20, and that's why I did that. Because guess what? If I'm a GM, we was up 20. We was up 10. We was up 4, 6, 8, all that. And then it hit 0 and we was tied.
Mm-hmm.
Something's wrong with that entire picture. Mm-hmm. Especially in a game 1 when we should have got blew out in honesty, because we tired.
Right.
Something wrong here.
I'm gonna clip that out because I don't even want that to go on the internet and give Harden an excuse. I don't, because he'll say it too. Yeah, you know, if he would have called the time. Now, Harden that type of guy. We've seen this before. He'll pass the blame real quick. I'm gonna click
Brother,
that. I don't even
2K
want
will
that
call a
in
timeout, but 2K will call a timeout. If you play my career,
automatic.
if they make 3 baskets in a row, a timeout comes.
Every
So-
drop counts, yeah.
How many grade levels can your player score when every time they say your player scored, you know you get a because James Harden should have been at the end of the
bar was
bench.
going like this.
Yeah, man.
He got
Oh,
no
my
VC
goodness.
after that game.
Yeah. Okay. Jamel, question for you. You were there. You wore the Chucks that Dr. J wore. You used to stand outside hyping them up, right? You was there cheering for Kareem. You know, because during the 80s, the Bulls weren't. I meant the 80s. I meant the 80s, but you was there cheering for Kareem because at the time the Bulls didn't exist originally when Kareem was there. Fair. Wow. And in the 80s, they weren't good yet. So Kareem was solid.
Had nothing to do with this, Mel.
My question to you is what we're seeing from Oklahoma and San Antonio the closest it's felt to like your golden era, or is there still miles to go? Like the physicality's back, they're hitting people, they swinging, all that. You know, does it feel like back in the day when y'all wore stars on the side of your shoes?
First of all, shout out to Chuck Taylor. I used to like those shoes. They were cheap. So I liked them. Couldn't play ball. If you played ball on them, you was looking to break your ankle. So it's just you play basically they're a t-shirt wrapped around your foot. That's what they were. But I want to say yes. I'm afraid Adam Silver's going to get involved and tell the refs, hey, watch all that fouling, man. We don't like that stuff. We want more scoring. Ever since that, New Jersey and San Antonio, that's all the NBA has been pushing for. That was 20 years ago. They still want more scoring. So I want to say yes, but not quite. Not quite. The scores aren't low enough. We need more defense.
Okay.
But I am thoroughly enjoying it. This is this should have been the finals. I think the finals is going to disappoint us compared to this. This is amazing.
100%.
Is the old let's start with the series. What are y'all looking forward to? We've had 2 games. It's 1-1, both games amazing. both
double
amazing
overtime.
Games. You know, and then even the next one, it didn't go to overtime. It got to the point where people really were calling out certain fouls, and because of how good the basketball game was going. What do we expect these next? What do y'all even call in the series? What have been the highlights? Who are some players that stuck out? Jaylen Williams is hurt again. We're going week to week, game to game with this hamstring, and De'Aaron Fox is hurt. Those are 2 major players for both teams that stepped out. Once you move them over to the side, what is it looking like for y'all?
Dylan Harper.
I was going to say, I'll leave the Wemby to y'all.
Go ahead, Jamal. Yeah.
It's Dylan Harper, bro.
I still have OKC winning. You can't teach height and you can't teach experience. It's just got to come. So San Antonio, they're the 2nd youngest team in the league, I think. So they're super young, and this is their first time in the playoffs. And athletic freaks, extremely skilled, but eventually experience kicks in. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. And they're going against a team who won the championship last year. Something else I'd like to point out is their depth. OKC is so deep. Their starting 5, their first 5 off the bench could start somewhere else. They might even make the playoffs. They're deep. You see what happened? They brought Mitchell off the bench. They just kept moving. It's a machine at this point. When the other Jaylen Williams was starting, the center / power forward, it's just a machine now, dude. And they just plug and play. And even though this isn't what you asked, I just want to point out, I think they got the 12th pick in this year's draft.
Yep.
It just gets worse.
Shout out to the Clippers.
Worse and worse.
A lottery pick.
I wish Sam Presti was in Chicago.
He'd have to make some Godfather deals like he did for OKC, but I mean, he's definitely in the conversation of one of the best GMs to ever do it. The dude has constructed a team that's looking at San Antonio as a mirror. They see themselves in the other team. And the fact of the matter is they both have assets moving forward. They both can keep this going for quite some time. We always talk about this on here anyway. If OKC hits the panic button because they feel like it, they can go get Giannis, and they won't gut their team to do it. They both have great secondary depths. I mean, they're literally looking at one another like the Spider-Man meme. Like this is going to get wicked for the West, because if you're not one of those two teams, where are you? You're relying on veterans, you're relying on, leadership and all this stuff. That's great. But when it comes down to between the four lines, it doesn't really matter. You've got Stephon Castle on your head. You've got Dylan Harper, who could start for any team in the NBA, coming off the bench as a rookie. He was a number 2 pick. People forget, kind of just in the Wemby sauce. He was a number 2 pick. The dude is legit. Could have went number 1, and he could start for any team. So you have all of that on one side, and then you still have OKC to talk about. Like, think about how hyped we just got talking about, like, San Antonio, what they have and what they bring. And you still got OKC over here. Yeah. Like, they still have the depth. They still have the numbers in the 12th pick next year. And then probably a lottery pick the year after. So if they feel like it and they just want to keep getting lottery picks to make up for what they have to lose in the offseason because people are going off to get paid, they can continue. Cason Wallace, why is he pivotal for OKC? These are names that you're just throwing at a wall. AJ Mitchell, like, we could keep this going, and it doesn't make sense how much talent is between the two teams. It just doesn't.
This series, actually, I'm going to say the next couple of years, this will remind me of the early 2000s when you knew either San Antonio or the Lakers were going to go.
There it is.
Whoever came out east, they were going to lose.
And they were winning each of them. You win or I win.
Yeah. And it's going to be like that. So I'm here for it. As a Bulls fan, I'm here for it.
The thing
I think to
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I think to your point, what you just said, Jamel, is like that's where you put it in better words for me. What I was trying to say earlier, the separation between some of those teams, because the Minnesotas are your Sacramentos and Phoenix. You're almost there, like you're right there, but there's just a clear separation between the San Antonio and Spurs and the Lakers then, and then the San Antonio and OKC Thunder right now. It's like they have it. You're still playing catch up. And to the depth piece, OKC has more of these. But remember, Dylan Harper he was in the conversation, but the hype was Cooper and Ace Bailey. Dylan Harper was almost like another San Antonio underhanded steal, which they're known to do. Like Stephen Castle was up there, but they weren't expecting him to look like this. So when it comes to the game piece, at least on the series, the youth and experience does play a factor. Castle can't have 10 turnovers a game. You just can't. You flat out can't. And it's not the main problem. It's just more so to the aspect of you have SGA guarding you, you have Dort guarding you, you have Caruso.
I don't blame him for that though.
Yeah,
because if you lose both of your point guards and then you become the primary ball handler,
right.
That's not your fault.
Which is combining the points is he's by more or less by himself because De'Aaron Fox is out and then Harper ends up getting hurt and they got a machine. They won't stop, bro. Like they just won't stop popping out at you. And the expectancy between the gap whenever Wemby's not on the floor versus when he is, OKC doesn't have that problem, right? What's super scary about OKC, to what you were saying, Abe, and then I'll let you go, Rudy, is they have a bench with a few players that can carry the trade by themselves.
Bingo. You ain't got to throw no piece in there. I want cases like that.
I want Jared McCain. I could go get some, like, you know what I'm saying? You got multiple. You can send a Jaylen Williams if you wanted to. Either you might just have to add maybe another piece. You don't even have to use your first rounds. If I send you Cason Williams in a second, I can probably get me a pretty quality piece back, right? Like they have multiple players that could do that, where on the other hand, San Antonio more than likely has to give up one of these players not named Wemby we just mentioned to get a Giannis back, right? Like the rest of the bench is looking a little shaky. I know for a fact keeping Harper. That's a guarantee, right?
Guaranteed.
De'Aaron Fox,
if you
man,
get Giannis, you gotta let go of Castle. I'm not having this conversation without it. I'm not having a conversation without it.
He's a up.
I wouldn't go for Giannis.
He's an upgraded Drew.
Right. I like the upside of stuff on Castle rather than Giannis.
I wouldn't.
But I'm
even
just
go
saying,
for
if
Giannis.
I'm Milwaukee, I don't have that conversation though. Yeah,
for sure. To piggyback off of pretty much all your points is, well, let's give OKC their flowers first. Sam Presti is basically who Danny Ainge thinks he is. Like,
for real.
Like all this storing up picks, this treasure trove of picks, and we're going to flip this into something. They tried it in Boston, eventually got it down in Utah, and it never manifests into.
Yep.
In Utah, it never manifests itself. He just price gouges on trades. So shout out to Sam Presti on that. It does feel like early 2000s where because Mel alluded to it, but that was one of the thoughts that I had is like, it's Lakers San Antonio. The Western Conference is basically the NBA Finals. We kind of had that with Warriors, Rockets for a couple seasons, but that's where the NBA Finals is. Everything after this is going to be a drop off. But the big highlight is San Antonio has a big 3 coming in the next 2 years. That's why I wouldn't touch Giannis. I wouldn't think about Giannis. I know we were kind of joking in the chat like, hey, the loser's going to run to go get Giannis. And that might be true.
I said that. That was me.
Yeah. And that might be true. But I think Harper, Castle, Wemby, and then at this point, you can kind of move Fox out. Like you can use him.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
And then a year ago, Fox was the key. He was like, "Oh, this is the A side or the
missing
B side."
piece. Yes.
And now he's just a trade piece. Respectfully, no disrespect, Fox. You're a dope player, but
no, really quick. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna let you finish. That's the sad part with De'Aaron Fox. He wanted to go here. He selected San Antonio, and they just have to make a tough business decision. Like what you said, Rudy.
No. You didn't cut me off. Like rock on. But I'm just saying, like the contract is too big.
Yes.
For what he's giving them. That they can from all these others, like they can
rookie contracts,
and they
got rookie contracts that are outperforming,
bro. And it's no state tax. It's like
you know what just hit me. And to Jamel's point, I think the free agent market was a topic that we were saving once the season ends, because this free agent market is so deep that it's its own 30-minute convo in itself. But I'm going to select one that's possibly in that market. You can let go of De'Aaron Fox, and if you're looking for veteranship, as shout out to Harrison Barnes, but you do need, I'll say, slightly younger and more active veterans, right? You can go get Jimmy if you felt like it, because they all play like dogs, and that's his speed.
Facts.
You can get him over there for a pretty decent price and not even have to give up too much if we're keeping it clean there, right? There's a few people out there. You don't need Giannis. The more you speak about it, is like you just need you can find. That's why I said Drew earlier as well, because you know what San Antonio does provide. Vassell had him a year after hearing the slander these last two, because remember, he was the main one they were trying to get rid of. So he had him a year. Shout out to Abe, contract. And I'm on the block. So we gonna make you hot. Light-skinned Vince Staples as our 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson, really showed up as well, saying that he can make himself a little name. So there's a couple of pieces that you can put there to where you still can hold on to the core. And one, you can keep Wemby, Castle, and Harper +1. Choose whether it be Vassell, you choose to keep Keldon, you choose to you can keep one more and then get you a Jimmy or get you a 3, maybe 4 guard. Most of these players, based on their chemistry that they're going to go get anyways, is meant to fit. That's how they move.
So you brought up Jimmy. Jamel, I'm sorry. Can you enlighten me on like maybe 5 players that are like on the top of that list for next year?
Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Sorry. Because I don't know the names off the top of my head. The fact that you just said Jimmy Butler, that was news to me that he was going to be out there on the market. So I'm just looking to see.
No, I'm talking about like more so trade pieces or like where people because he's not unrestricted. He's not unrestricted, but I know Golden State is in a situation to where you might as well have listed him as a free agent.
Traded it. Yeah, gotcha.
All right, I got it right here. So you got LeBron, you got Trae Young, you got Zach LaVine, James Harden, CJ McCollum, and then it's kind of a drop off. Chris Middleton, Kristaps Porzingis, Isaiah Hartenstein, Andrew Wiggins, Tobias Harris.
Hartenstein's free?
Hartenstein's free.
If restricted or unrestricted, does it say?
Let me see.
I think it should be
unrestricted.
He was already a free agent.
Yeah,
he had signed a 3-year, 87, I think, something like that.
Hey, Lakers, we missed him the first time. Can we get him, please?
Nope, because that's another one San Antonio can get. Cornette, I love you, but hey, we have money
Cornette
over here.
I'll take Cornette. I'll take either one of them. I wanted Hartenstein before he left New York.
Look,
so now he's up for grabs already. Oh man,
yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
I appreciate that, Rudy. I just, like I said, off the top of my head, I couldn't think of these names. I thought Trae Young signed a contract because that's the whole reason why he wanted to go to Washington.
Nope.
So what you get sent out to purgatory? Don't get me started on that, man.
I think Atlanta wanted to get rid of him.
Atlanta wanted him out. Yeah,
he wanted out too. But I'm just saying, why go to Washington then? I don't understand that move.
I don't think he had as much say.
He did. I don't think he chose that.
Yeah, I think
that was his only. No, that was his only market at the time. I think.
Okay.
I think that's
so
what it was.
He just put it out there like, "Come get me."
Nobody wanted him.
And we are kind of burying the lead. I mean, let's just go ahead and anoint this nigga. He is the face of the league. He's the one that changed the tempo. He's the one that everybody is quoting after. Like, this nigga put up a generational game. Like, bro, like
you don't think Ant changed the tempo?
No, sure. I think Ant was pushed to the forefront because ESPN needed an American-born player, and they tried to anoint this nigga early. I thought that Ant was going to take the league. I did. He's come up short twice in these Western Conference Finals, and I mean short. Like
team, it's a team sport, though.
It is a team sport, but when we talk about the face of the league, it's about production. It's about like getting the job done. It's about edge. It's about moving the culture. Wemby is changing conversations. Niggas are talking about defense. That never happens, bro.
We just talked about trading Randall, though, so we know what's hurting Ant. We just talked about adding pieces to Minnesota, so it's team. And don't get me wrong, Wemby is the face of the league. You're absolutely correct on that.
Sure.
But San Antonio also has a better team.
Yeah,
but this is like the third or fourth time we've had to have a like caveat for Ant. And this is Wemby's first time getting to that promised land, and it's looking good. So
he's got a better team.
I agree with you. You're not wrong, but that's the point I'm trying to make is that we're already in that conversation where people are having that wild conversation of greatest of all time, and we're watching him in his first playoff run. That conversation, being with his production and the player that he is clashing. It is clashing and is going straight over Ant's head. I think Ant is a great representation of the league. I think he's also the greatest personality that we have in the league right now. Wemby is not going to do what he's doing. That's what we have Ant for. But the actual production and what it's going to show on the floor, we're all watching Wemby.
And that's what I was about to say.
Can I
the
add
personality
something?
Is the problem.
Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
Is that for Ant, the thing is you have the personality, but you don't have the production. And that's the part is where it's like we've tried to give you this. You walking the walk. Now you talking the talk. You're talking the talk to the highest supreme. You can back it up in the regular season. You can back it up for spurts and moments where you bang on a nigga, dunk on him, or you say something crazy and you're in the post game. You get you a good reaction. But then you're shaking everybody's hand with 8 minutes left.
Come on, man.
Okay. Like, and whether you care about that or not, like if that's a good about however you feel about it, it's the fact that you're coming up short.
And I think two things are true there, because back to what Jamel said, it is a fact. It's a team sport. And Ant has been trying to do the narrative himself for the last few years, and more. I'll give him his credit. Done a pretty solid job for pushing the style of basketball that we're saying. I will also add to what y'all's point is, though, and a little bit of a variance for you, Jamel. I seen Ant talk about it, and then I know for a fact Wemby made a statement before this year's All-Star game, and you saw the difference immediately. And when he highlighted how the European players don't play defense, or the non-Americans don't play defense, it showed a major difference in the way that he was the only one playing defense while Jokic and Luka were running around not trying. The optics by themselves, I don't know if that was planned. I don't know if they just said, like, fuck you, light skinned nigga, and then just kept going. I don't know like what necessarily happened in that moment, but he was out there trying. And Kawhi was having a game, and he was trying to stop by himself. We don't even remember the rest of the team, so him losing twice doesn't help. And there is also that media darling piece of it as well. Anthony Edwards has kind of absorbed a pseudo villain role from the statements he made.
He's our version of AI.
I don't want to disrespect AI like that, because Anthony Edwards has done it in a way that you don't stereotype him in that manner, or you really have to go out your way. I understand the multiple mother situation, but I think that fan base doesn't really know about that. It was to your point, that's part of the thing of going forward, because the Adidas commercials can be good and bad depending on how you feel about it.
Yes.
And it's in the conversation. You're in the Mason Cam podcast. You're taking shots at Nike after you beat them. You have been to the Western Conference Finals, and truth be told, the Dallas loss was worse. The Denver loss is like Denver was good. So you're 1-1. Cool.
It was a Dallas one.
Wemby having the All-Star moment. They're releasing the story of him going to the Buddhist monks, or going over there to the Shaolin monk temple. Anthony Edwards wasn't getting storylines. Like, even if he did, they wouldn't have let that be released. They released this going in the middle of the playoffs. We all knew he went over there last summer. We saw the pictures, right? Like ESPN releasing the article in the middle of the playoffs, right before Game 2 on the same day. Even if it's a team sport, there's also the piece of whether he is saying it or they're saying it for him. They're gonna make it Wemby's thing regardless, unless Ant beat to a ring. They're gonna say Wemby did it.
Honestly, I don't even think it's they're gonna make it Wemby. It's Wemby. Like, it's this nigga's league. Like, respectfully, they've been trying to give it to Ant for like 2.5 years. I remember us being in the chat talking about, like, yo, Stephen A. every day on TV talking about, hey, this is the face of the league, and Kendrick Perkins parroting right behind him. The Dallas loss really hurt because he beat Denver in 7 games, and that was the catapult moment. Like, oh snap! Like, he really liked that. Like, he smoked Luka, and then he beat Denver, and then it was like, okay, cool. All you got to do is it wasn't Brown Luka. That was the year before. But when he played Dallas and Dallas went to the finals, that was the takeoff point. He didn't show up that series for the most part, like we wanted him to. Then he had a redemption. Oh, Shea is taking your lunch money. Like, he won the MVP. Technically, you should be better than Shea, because Shea kind of came out of, like, he didn't come out of nowhere, but like, we weren't projecting him like Ant for the most part. Let's keep it real. When he was with the Clippers, so this is mano y mano. And Shea took his lunch money. Like, we saw that happen. Like, and you kind of got lucky that Steph's hamstring popped on you, because when Steph was running circles around you in Game 1, it was looking kind of dark. Wemby is in his first playoff, and they're literally talking about this nigga went to talk to Kobe about mentality. He changed the mentality of the All-Star game. All these articles about him being a Buddhist monk, on his quitting game. Like, he dropped a historical game.
Can I say something? This is crazy that you're saying this and I'm the one that's the actual San Antonio fan, because I just want to be clear with y'all. I entered tonight's podcast knowing that none of y'all are my friends because all y'all's teams aren't in the playoffs no more, right? That's how I
that's
entered
crazy.
into this
That's
podcast.
crazy.
Right?
That's
We
crazy.
cool right now, but depending on how this goes, I know the hate coming from y'all because all y'all are losers based on your teams, right?
Hey, I
With that
respect.
being said, though, as a San Antonio fan, I'm not really hearing nothing from Wemby unless he wins a ring, simply for the fact you just listed a gauntlet of players that Ant has seen. Even though it's his first playoffs, who did he play? Who did Wemby play until this series? Ant has beat KD, LeBron, Steph, Jokic. Like him losing to Luka, it's a bad look, but he done beat a lot of your favorites. Wemby hasn't played nobody yet. Luka and Kyrie.
Okay, we gotta be honest. We just have to be honest. It has very little to do with basketball. It's 25% basketball.
You're right.
It's 75. Look at all of the people that we said should have been the face of the league. You got AI, for obvious reasons. He couldn't do it. You have who came after AI? Who do we mention? Who do we mention after AI? This was me. Ja Morant. Ja Morant was very appealing. He went up. He went that Golden State series. That was very pivotal. He was hurt. He was hurt, but if he was healthy, that would have definitely shot him to somewhere where, it would have been harder for other people. But the thing with Ant is off the course is too much. Like, did y'all see the video he uploaded when he was recording those people waiting outside to get food? I don't want to get too deep into it. If you know. But the league had fined him because he put it on Snapchat. He said, these expletives are expletives out here. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll talk about it after. But he was coming for the alphabet community, if you can't put two and two together. And they got him. This was the beginning. He was like second year and that happened. So then you talk about that, and then you just keep on piling the other stuff he's done since then. There's no shot. He already handicapped himself.
I don't think he wants to be the face of the league.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think he wants to be in the face of the league. I think he's perfectly fine being Charles Barkley in this, essence. And the face that they're trying to force is why this looks so weird. We see how naturally it looks for Wemby and how forced to try, it looks for us to try to plug somebody else in there. It's literally Wemby.
It's Wemby.
Okay, so
we can't find it. We can't.
I'll raise you 2 points to what you just said. For y'all saying that he doesn't want to be the face. What's not talked about is every decade has the quote unquote pseudo villain hero. AI, KD developed it. KD and Russ. You have examples in each era. KD and Russ, Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards. The difference between Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards, Ja wanted to be the face. Everybody else I just mentioned, they just wanted to do what they do by themselves. They happen to be, they never meant to be the quote unquote A side face, but they always exist. It's Goku and Vegeta. He's right there. But he never wanted to be all of the niceties that come with that. Jordan was the best of them. He was just so good that he ended up becoming the clean face hero because he was an unstoppable villain. And that's what Kobe was about to take on as well. But you remember Kobe was embracing the villain role because he went from being a hero and he got knocked off his pedestal. So he tried to go that route. That's what happened. Kobe, sorry to say this, Kobe was
tread lightly.
Kobe in the star in the media role was Ja before Ja.
What?
Kobe was Ja before Ja.
No.
You know what? I low-key respect
like
it.
That.
I bet you do, Celtics fan.
No, but I see what he's saying though. They tried to push Kobe for a year to two. Colorado happened, i.e., Ja in the summer. Some miscellaneous thing happened.
How many times did Ja get in trouble? And we're gonna
get in trouble that much.
Wait. Okay, hold on. I got you. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean. Kobe's respect level did not rise until the rebrand, the snitching allegations, selling out Shaq, the Colorado situation, the 2-piece with no biscuit combo he took.
It was bad.
Let's not. You went from being that new high school star. They hated him
I'm
coming
not gonna
in.
say it wasn't shaky, but I'm not gonna sit here and say him and Ja are like the same.
Here's the thing with everything you
That's
said.
about a 3-year time.
Kobe succeed. Ja's story still got to be written.
Y'all had this conversation off somewhere else, but Abe gonna stand on 2 feet on this one. I ain't about to take this slander.
Yeah.
Absolutely not today.
With everything Ray said about Kobe, with the snitching and everything else, the NBA doesn't care about all of that. They care about Colorado. That's it. They don't care about snitching. They don't care about who's doing what in the locker room. They don't care about that stuff. They care about Colorado. With Ja Morant,
that was
NBA
us.
cared about everything.
Our people cared about that.
With Ja
people on
Morant,
the court and stuff cared about that. Yeah.
With Ja Morant, they cared about. Ja Morant has his own Colorado. How about that?
And he's beating up high schoolers, and the NBA cares so much he couldn't even do finger guns on the court. They care so he had to throw grenades
high
on the
schoolers. Kobe got beat up. It's the same thing.
No, the thing with Kobe,
you gonna get off that. You gonna get off that.
The Kobe thing literally only lasted about 2 years. It lasted in 2004 when the nigga was flying from Colorado.
Yeah, it was only 2 years.
And then
you know what he was doing that Ja wasn't doing? He was hooping.
He was hooping. He went out there and gave you 62, went out there and gave you 81, went out there and averaged 35.
That is a fact. He was
hooping. It literally only lasted 2 years, bro. Once 04 happened,
facing 5 to 10. Facing 5 to 10. He was giving them hell.
By the time 2006 was out, bro, that was it. Like
John getting in more trouble while being in trouble. While he got his basement, he was
not on the court enough.
The only people that didn't respect Kobe after 06 was
slander to the highest key.
Media.
Media
didn't like him. They won't give him MVP.
I'm gonna get hot here in a second. I ain't standing for this.
Right, Abe. Rip, Abe. I like that.
Talk.
Yeah. Don't let Ray do that.
My boy name. We not doing that.
Don't let Ray do that.
Not on here.
I doubled down on
I'll just keep talking over you.
I'm gonna go to Wemby. I'll go to Wemby. How about this? I'll go to Wemby because we agreed to go with me. That's my pick. We agreed, but I don't like the idea of Wemby being the face. This is just my personal reason right here. I'm cool with everything. Everything y'all said is correct. And he overall, from what we've been presented, good dude. Shout out to San Antonio. They tend to find that type of storyline. Same time, for the way I see things, I always liked it when the face of the league for whatever sport was somewhat obtainable. Steph, the Kobe's, the MJ's, even the LeBron's, like the work ethic and stuff like that. You can't build this. There's nothing you could do with this build. Like, there's nothing you could do. You're just looking up.
Brian not on that list.
LeBron's talent, LeBron's skills. That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the athletic build. I'm talking about the fact that you do know LeBron got out there. The passing IQ, trying to be the passer. There's a lot of. I like that aspect of it. You don't like LeBron. I'm not doing this.
No,
right?
Ray. I understand what you're saying. Brian is not in that list of people. Brian is literally
take Brian
of that list.
Yes,
people
one out of the 5. Sure.
No, that's all. He's the antithesis of that list of people that
that's
players
not Brian. Hey, I'm exalting his physique is what you can't duplicate that.
Okay.
That cool. Big. That's
I'm with you. I'm with you. I got you. All right. So the other players I mentioned, you have faces that you can go out there and put in effort to try to obtain. That's what made Steph Curry's game so beautiful, because you saw things that you can do. You can go put up these shots. You can go work on these dribbles. Even for James Harden's games, you can start to practice that, right? You may not get the 6'3" and above build. You may not get the 6'4", 6'5", whatever the case may be. But a Jose Alvarado always exists to where if you put in enough heart, right? Like you might have a chance, and then you can go try to develop certain games. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like the idea of him being the face is like, damn, man, because you're gonna put it on a mountaintop that possibly can never be achieved again unless you have another 7'3", 4', 5" foot player that's doing that. Like I get it, he's the guy, but there's also this like, dang, man, like that's just an expectation.
It's unattainable, right?
There you go.
That's a good point. I mean, we thought Chet was kind of cool when he came out.
That's what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say.
We thought he was kind of cool, and then we walk around and we see Wemby, and Wemby makes it his point to make sure anytime he touches the floor with Chet, that's not even a conversation.
Y'all put faith in Gonzaga is a personal choice. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all put faith in the Gonzaga players and saying Jalen Suggs is wearing a headband necklace.
out there.
I'm not hearing nothing.
To be fair, in year 3 or year 4, whatever year he's in, he's already the GOAT from Gonzaga. I'll say that. He's already the best player to come out of there.
And that's something I was gonna say about Chet too. When you say about with Wemby being the face, the problem with this is that we forget they were trying to usher Chet in the same way as Wemby before he got drafted to OKC and got hurt for that season. Like, and because you're even with, and that was the thing with SGA like exploding to be this great and winning the MVP. That wasn't even supposed to be that because it was supposed to be Chet. And I think that's a part of it is that, which maybe being OKC also is a detriment for Chet too. That's the big thing of the Wemby conflict. If Chet was able to do what everybody was thinking he was going to do, it would make that conversation a little easier because you don't just have one doing it. You now have the second one and they actually competing. It's just so happened that Chet looking like a Chrysler 300.
When the rolls roll up. Yeah.
Next to that Phantom. That Phantom looked crazy.
Think about it. We thought Bol was going to be nice.
We did.
And where is Bol? He's overseas somewhere. Like it's a difference between what Wemby is doing and what the expectation was set for the rest of these guys. He is doing everything plus some. The fact that he did that 3-pointer like Steph did in that exact same spot and the exact same timing, that's not supposed to happen from someone his height. We all know that
part. And depending on how his career goes, we might look back on this or conversations like these and really have that open dialogue of Chet was made safe by the ring that SGA got him.
Yes.
For sure.
That's
no argument.
Yeah. With that being said, man, we done dribbled the basketball. We done ran out multiple 24-second shot clocks. Can we get to slightly basketball related but off the court with the Jaylen Brown and Stepen A situation? JB, Stepen A. I'm gonna let the Celtics fan and Jamel lead this. I want to see the youngest and the oldest
the tandem
conversation. Yeah. They both disappeared. That's crazy. Well, what I'll do is introduce what happened with them two. Jaylen Brown loses to Philly. He gets on Twitch. He gets to talking, and Stepen A responds to Jaylen Brown breaking down how however he saw the Game 7 Celtics loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. Stepen A doesn't like it, tells him to more or less shut up and go about his business, and then they've been going back and forth. And if I remember correctly, I don't have all the details because this one's new across my desktop. They've had a history, I guess. This isn't the first time?
Just a couple run-ins. Yeah.
Okay. And we're here now because Jaylen Brown feels like he told him to shut up and dribble, and Stepen A keeps talking. I haven't clicked on any of these clips. I'm not prepped for this particular one. I wanted y'all to kind of feel. I wanted to be the audience that's learning about this new TV NBA drama series, this short film, if you will.
I can tell you that, excuse me, Jaylen Brown is just tired of Stepen A running his mouth, not being a ball player at all, not knowing what it's like. And he doesn't consider Stepen A to be a real journalist. Stepen A got offended because he is a journalist. But in my opinion, what he does with the hot takes isn't journalism. But he is still a journalist. And he threatened Jaylen Brown, talking about, don't make me say what Jason Tatum said about you. Don't make me say what the Boston Celtics are saying about you. I'll come out with that, you know? So
that's some gotcha journalism.
I side with the player in this. Yeah, and if you're a journalist, you're supposed to come out and tell people. That's your job. You know, if you're a real journalist, you should be like, well, this is what the Celtics are saying. If you have real information. Now, if you're just running your mouth, you remain silent. But remember, him and KD did the same thing. Like 10 years ago, Stepen A and KD were into it. So right now it's him and Jaylen Brown, and I side with Jaylen Brown. Like Jaylen Brown was talking about, and I didn't know this for NBA players. I knew it was with the NFL players, but in their contracts, they have to speak to media. And that's something Stephen A brought up. You always running your mouth, this, that, and the other. Jaylen Brown was like, it's a part of my contract. I have to speak to the media or I get fined. But and Jaylen Brown talked about how he's not on social media. He doesn't like being out there. He doesn't talk about people, this, and the other, but he does not like Stephen A. And neither do I. I agree with it.
Is it speaking to the media though? I thought that was just a post-game conference, not necessarily
It's the post-game. Yes, the
personal.
post-game.
Yeah. This would be different than him going on his own personal platform and streaming, which a lot of players do. They would either have a podcast or they have a stream. I understand it, but I guess I might.
Well, so Jaylen took issue with Stephen A. basically saying that how dare you say it was your favorite year. When you guys lost in the first round, you blew a 3.
And Tatum was hurt.
Yeah, and Tatum was hurt. Jaylen's response was, you don't know what it's like to get it out the mud. We had people that were developing in leadership roles. We came into the season with no expectations. People didn't even know if we were going to make the playoffs, and we ended up being a top seed. So we grew together as a team, and you wouldn't know anything about that. And then I hate to even bring this nigga up because I hate this nigga. But Nick Wright actually had a solid take. He was like, basically, Stephen A. is not understanding that no matter what, he's the sideshow in the circus. Media as a whole is a sideshow to the main event. The main event in a circus is the lion jumping through the hoop. That's the basketball players. We're here for the main event. You are a warm-up. All of us in media, we're just like the clown cars. Like we just are there to warm the crowd up. We're not the main event type people. Stephen A keeps confusing himself, thinking he's a main character. Like, no, bro, you're a support character. And that's kind of what Jaylen Brown was checking him on, saying like, well, dang, like you telling me to shut up and dribble basically is like, you don't want me doing a live stream. I don't want you pushing out propaganda on TV. So how about we both just keep it like that?
Okay.
And I'm not mad at him. Jaylen the one I want to mess with. He not the nigga. Stephen A. don't want to pick that fight. And talking like that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, Stephen A. moving around like
dribble thing. Was it almost a shut up and dribble thing? I saw that.
He basically said,
Yeah, he took it that way for sure. I mean, you can take it that way just from that phrase, but I think it's another thing of Stephen A's had a bunch of run-ins recently that we've seen probably in the last 5 years of just different athletes. We also kind of think it's choreographed. I think so because it kind of helps his name stay relevant and it keeps him, able to go to the networks and say, hey, I need $10 million because look, they still talking about me to this day. It to me feels like a dance. Obviously, JB is serious about his. We've seen how he talks and he converses with people. I just don't know why Stephen A. has to go so far sometimes as to saying like, oh, don't let me tell them what they saying in Boston or what Jason Tatum really feels about you, because now he's creating a problem in the locker room that probably wasn't there. And that's when it gets a little messy and it's like, okay, bro, you're overstepping your bounds as a reporter.
And from what I'm understanding, Stephen A does this thing where he can find the unobtainable clickbait. I've noticed that. And so I'm not saying this as if it's good or bad. A lot of people had commentary on the fact that JB did this in the first place with his Twitch stream to begin with. Right. And the major topics, even in our group chat, was you shouldn't be talking, you lost, shut up, get back to the court, or whether you should, as an athlete, be allowed to talk. That even became a topic here. The way that he didn't fulfill, I guess, whatever his expectancy was when it came to what happened in the series. Stephen A went into the bag of tricks and found this is your favorite season. Like none of us would have thought of that. It's crazy because we were already talking about it and he just happened to select the topic. And then I understand Game that he's one of those people where it's just he can bother you. You can like him or dislike him. He does have an aptitude to like no one else was talking about that. And if they were, they didn't have the footing that he does to even get it to that style of conversation. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, who else could have did that? This one just happened to get a little bit of a negative, not a little bit of negative feedback, because you're right. He's consistently in this situation as these last 2 years. We had the Bronny situation, LeBron James himself. You're on a media tour. Y'all keep missing. He's setting up.
It's choreographed. It's literally choreographed. It's a pass that you see in front of you. Like you see it. Like it's, I don't know. It just seems like it's the only way that's keeping him relevant.
The only he don't have competition to run against him. Like that's it. He's prepping for president. I know we try to dance around it as a reason when it comes to that. Quite simply, this is a media run, and he's doing a good job of getting into the media run. Because you know who would agree with him about this being your favorite team? Like, even if you had an issue with that, we know it's not us. The votes are coming in. Like, we're aware of how this. As far as I'm concerned, I get it. He might be taking high percentage shots, but he's not missing. Do with that as you will. He's really not missing his jumpers right now, bro. Skill, and that does take time, but it's very tough because we want to keep it sports, and you keep making it more than sports as the media person that we know you are. And I think we're in this weird world where we're watching. It's different. You know what it is? We're seeing it in the way that we can process it. There's often times that a culture is built or something happened within our culture, and then somebody came in and ran off with it. We don't get many times to not only catch that, but see someone on this side open the door and be like, come over here and steal it. He's just offering himself up like, steal me, please. And we're like, yeah. In the racial draft, we can make you a trade, and we just don't know who we want back in return right now. I don't know who that might be. Like, I don't know what's the Stephen A equivalent, but that's kind of what he's running for. Bro, he's shooting his long-range jumper right now as we speak.
It's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even want to get that on air. That's crazy.
Smith, I know you a JB stan and you hate Stephen A, man. How would you like to wrap up that topic as a Celtics fan?
Real quick before you get going. It's nice to see you, Smitty.
Yeah, man. What's going on, Abe? What's going on, bro?
How'd that first round go?
Which one? Hockey?
Remember how we talked about the series?
He said hockey.
You know what's crazy? I was watching. Hold on, you hear me or no?
Can't hear you.
No, hold on.
I can hear you. We can hear you though.
Go ahead, because I can't.
Yeah, man. You know, I've been watching the Boston Bruins and stuff like that. So it's been dope, bro. It's been dope. But the first round of the NBA playoffs, Cleveland did all right. The Knicks did all right. And then
let me ask y'all this. I think I know Abe's answer, and I think I know Smith's answer, but I'm just gonna toss it out there. What's worse, losing in the first round in game 7 or getting swept in the second round?
Losing in the first round, not seeing the second round at all.
Yeah.
Getting swept
to win the first round, lose game 7, and get kicked out of the whole thing. Yeah, I think I'm taking the second round bounce.
Well, you know what, personally, I think getting swept. I just think getting swept. Yeah, I have to say getting swept.
Just go home.
I did my job.
You should have just game over.
I did my job.
Listen. All right. In theory, I'm gonna be honest. If you're not winning the chip, you should lose as soon as possible. Get your body health, get your body rest, and go do what you gotta do. The competitor in me doesn't say that, but like, I don't know. If we're gonna play that card, if you're not gonna win the championship, what do you win?
I mean, if you in the playoffs, you don't know if you're not gonna win though. So that's the thing. You got to go home.
If you go by that logic, hold on. Understand what Smith is saying. Understand what he's saying. If you don't win the championship, you should lose as early as possible. That take is going to come up in our LeBron conversation that we have pending. I haven't processed that jumper that he just took. But it may have went in. Is it better to if you're going to lose? Is it better to just get it out of the way? To his point, he did say the competitor in him, you want to keep playing. I get it, but the competitor and all of us know what it feels like to do all of that and then still end up losing. Because there have been moments where you like, dang man, I could have went on vacation a couple weeks earlier. Or, why did I sprain my ankle if we were going to lose anyways? Or I can only imagine that what Tyrese talked about it in one of his most recent interviews of what that felt like. Like you were right there on the precipice of everything you dreamed of. And as soon as you had an opportunity to take it, you tear your Achilles. And so it's like, and y'all lost. So what would it have been better if I didn't play all these games and then just would have lost in the first round after I knocked out 2 different teams on game 7 buzzer beaters? You did what I'm saying? Like that's an angle. What's the purpose of getting that far if
you're gonna lose?
Tell yourself whatever helps you sleep at night, Smith.
Honestly, though, it's gonna be one of the weirdest off seasons I've had in a while. It's just. I don't know. This is probably the most least expectant off season I got from I just don't know who to target. I just don't know who to get. Obviously, there's big fish. You got Giannis and stuff like that. But man, I don't know. I don't know what that drawing board look like right now. I don't.
It don't look pretty for Boston. No one wants to go to Boston. There's too many other markets.
No one's safe.
You had y'all's window. It's over. It's the West now.
Nah, we got one more year. We got a Knicks year in us.
You got a Knicks year in you. You are lying. Do y'all have anything else y'all like to add before we get to closing statements? In general, is there? I don't know.
I'll go on my Stepen A tangent now because I missed it due to audio troubles before. But I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think the whole thing Stepen A did was a clown show. Not even just coming as a JB fan. First of all, you say you're not gonna disrespect the man, and then you go up there asking him why is everything so cheap. First of all, it's streaming, not potting. You do not need a production team. I know you're used for most of your career going in someone else's studio, having someone else have to cut you a check and X, Y, and Z, but that doesn't have to be what the another man has to do. So I think from that tip alone, it was weak. It was lame, in my opinion. Then you go to the next stuff. All bro is asking you to do is do more journalism. I go on and I'm cutting on First Take, and that's the first headline everybody sees on First Take at 10 a.m. This is the same reason why Skip came to your show after a hiatus, and the views went up 30%. So I just want to say, in all reality, Stephen A. Smith is definitely smelling himself too much. You're telling bro who's getting a lot more money than you, he needs to update. He needs to update his equipment, the background, or wherever he's at. It's a penthouse in Boston. It's cheap looking. Whatever room it is a dungeon. Like, bro, come on, man. You're 50 years old, bro. Playing kid games, man. Like, let's just get past this. Let's get to the basketball. You spend a whole 10-minute segment. 7 of those minutes was talking about everything other than basketball, and this is exactly what he's attacking you for. So you're using your platform, which is probably top 2 in America, to just like be toxic, throw certain things in the rubble, and it's just like there's no reason for that. You want power, pretty much. That's all you want.
Yeah.
You already had made up with JB over the Olympic stuff and Derek White and Drew Holiday, and then you double back. You're like, oh, I'm advocating for Jaylen Brown throughout the season. What I'm saying next can't be wrong when it's like, no, what you're saying is not holy grail. You know what I mean? And just because you looked at the screen and took all your bias aside and said Jaylen Brown was a top 3 to 5 player this year doesn't absolve you for you coming back around and, you know what I mean, being disrespectful. So I'll just keep it at that. And
he's running for president, man.
I'm not voting for him.
We're not giving this on air. We're not talking about this. I'm not giving it on air, bro.
You know Hell what it is, man. And you know why? You know why we hate it too is because it's like you didn't have to throw us under the bus to get the clicks, but you did at the same time. It's like he did at the same time, but at the same time, you didn't have to throw us under the bus to get the clicks. Well, go fat shame.
If we're keeping it a buck, this is his bread and butter.
Yeah, man. What? But go fat shame Luka and Jokic or something like. But they don't talk back.
You'll never see that. You'll never see that.
But they also don't talk back, so you don't get the back and forth. And if anything, it's like that. I think that was part of my frustration with Jaylen. It's like you know what this is. You're not gonna beat him at this. Now you went from talking about he don't know your game to you showing you don't know his.
So
you're not.
So what I will
first.
say.
Go ahead.
What I will say is, in the summer, he tapped in with speed. He tapped in on multiple streaming fronts before he got on stream. So it's kind of I get where he's coming from in terms of a new world agenda order, where it's like, listen, man, we got to get some of these biggest names in journalism to actually start journalizing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So he's too high though.
I love how pure to the game that you are. Two things to what you just said. First and foremost, them people that watch Speed and all them, they don't vote. First and foremost. Secondly, right? Secondly, most of the people in them streams also don't care about Jaylen Brown or look like us. It's a lose either way, bro. It's like, know your personnel, know the game. I'm saying in the purest world, I'm with you. Get back to journalism. But they don't care about the progress Jaylen Brown has made in the fight that he's taken against Nike and doubling down and not wanting to play for the USA because of what's been going on there. He's in the Kaepernick vein. We know that.
Yeah.
They don't care about what? Who? He's
That's
brown?
Fair.
No,
That's
he's
fair.
black. And then they go on about their business. like bro,
That's fair. That's fair.
You went into his market, and it's tough too, because while you're righteous, he's not the player, nor does he have the cachet to even make this fight. Stephen A walked away from someone like LeBron James with more weight on his name. Mm-hmm. And you could say what you wanted about that battle. He went toe to toe with the biggest basketball player in the world and arguably of the last 20 years or so.
That's
walked away pretty decent. Jaylen Brown it's like we just got done playing the playoff game as a keep it clean team, and then we went and played the local YMCA 7th grade boy. Like, what do it's like, on a broken leg with two of us wearing boots and whatnot, like we still probably pull this off 13-0 or something like that. Unfortunately, he's running for president, bro. I'm sorry, bro. He's running for president. Oh gosh, bro. I don't even want to end it there because that's some terrible vibes to end with Stephen A running for president, man. Give me something really quick, a quick question that we could transition out of, bro. Give me something, man.
Hey, man,
running for president, bro.
Closing tidbit for the day. Keep your head on straight. The world is crazy, but your mama built you this way.
My closing statement. It would have been my opening statement if I was here on time. So I don't know what y'all said, but I don't care. But this was mine. I had already thought of it. You can flop and be an MVP, or you can flop and be a bitch.
Yo,
life is all about perspective.
Golden words.
Life is all about perspective.
I ain't got nothing else. That's perfect.
Maybe.
Hey man, shout out Trump. You know, positive or negative, 3,700 trades in 90 days. Hey, I can't say if I was in office, I wouldn't be doing that. So shout out to you, bro.
Oh, he hustled us, bro. The IRS can't even.
Hey man, cut that man mic off, dog.
Sarcasm, bro. Do I have to say that was sarcasm?
Oh gosh, man.
Prosecute him.
My closing statement will be, for every crazy bit of the world that Abe just highlighted, a lot of y'all's hamstrings ain't built for what's coming.
Holy shit.
And based on what I've seen between the war and the virus, if it's a zombie, you first. If it's a war, you still getting shot. Your hamstrings ain't cut for this, bro.
Yeah.
This been the Keep It Clean team, man. We back. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. You know what it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, at Keep It Clean Show. Instagram, at the Keep It Clean Show, man. That was a new episode. We appreciate y'all. We out of here.